Yes. Now we'll try to calculate resultant for multiple forces. We have seen resultant for only two forces, that is we have one formula, that is P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta under root. Okay. So we have calculated resultant. If you see the notes so far, whatever we have gone through, so all the notes, all the problems we have calculated resultant only for the case of two forces, concurrent forces, coplanar forces. Along with that, the forces were only two. Now we'll try to calculate resultant for multiple forces. Okay. So I'm writing down the question. Determine the resultant of the coplanar or else resultant of the concurrent force system shown in figure. So it is very simple. This figure is already given in the question, so we do not have to worry about it. So this is our x, y, and there is one force which is going in first quadrant, that is 400 Newton at an angle of 60 degrees, and one more force which is going in second quadrant of magnitude 500 Newton, and the inclination is 45 degrees, and there is one more force which is going in third quadrant, and the angle is 30 degrees, dense magnitude is 10 Newton, and one more force 30 degrees and 200 newtons. Okay. So we have x and y axis, it is given in the question. So these are the x and y axis given to us. Depending upon the given x and y axis, we have to calculate our resultant of forces. How to calculate resultant? We'll see. Okay, for multiple forces. I am making a dotted line so that it should not look like a force. It is general x and y axis. Okay, so this is your x and y axis, x axis and y axis. We have multiple forces, 1, 2, 3, 4 forces. Okay, so now we have to calculate resultant. So for the calculation of resultant, we need components of forces. Okay, always whenever you try to calculate resultant, we need components. Okay, for two inclined forces, we do not require any components of forces, two concurrent forces. But for this type of force, more than two forces, we need components of forces. Okay, so for that, what I will do, I will name this one. Okay, I will name this as F1 and this angle as θ1. Okay, and this force as F2 and this angle as θ2. Similarly, this force as F3 and this angle as θ3. This force as F4 and θ as θ4. Okay, for our convenience. If you name somebody, if you name any force or name any angle, then it will be easy to understand, isn't it? So I will start with force F1. So we will not disturb this portion. So we'll start our calculations. So first what I will do, I will try to write down F1, which is equal to how much? 400 newtons. 400 Newton. What is the angle theta 1? Theta 1 is 60 degrees. The angle theta 1 is, the force F1 is making an angle of 60 degrees with which axis? X axis. So I will write here X axis. Now how will you calculate the components of F1? F1 is equal to F1x is equal to F1 cos theta, and F1y is equal to F1 cos theta, theta 1. Okay, isn't it? Otherwise we'll try to name these forces as okay, leave it, no problem. So F1x, F1y. Okay, so F1x is equal to, what is F1? We have 400 into cos theta 1. Cos theta 1 is how much? 60 degrees. Okay, so then what about F1y? 400 sin 60 degrees, isn't it? So F1x is equal to 400 F cos theta, F sin theta. Why? Because the angle is with x axis. So what will happen to this one? F1x is equal to, you will get some value in newtons. F1y is equal to, you will get some value in newtons. Okay. Now since I don't have any values, so you can write down these values. Okay. After that one, after this we'll be having next force. What is the next force we have? F2. What is the magnitude of force F2? 500 newtons. So this is 500. Okay, 500 newtons. 500 newtons. And what is the value of theta 2 there? Value of theta 2 is how much? 45 degrees. 45 degrees. And the angle made by this theta, this force is with again x axis. So what will happen to F2x, x component? F2 cos theta 2. And what about F2y? F2 sin theta 2. So what is F2 we have? 500 into cos theta 2, cos 45. What about F2y? F2 is how much? 500 into sin 45. So you will get value in newtons, and F2y you will get in value in newtons. But here in this case your F2x will be negative and F2y will be positive. Here both the values will be positive, isn't it? Now we got F2 components of this force and this force. Components is nothing but, this is F1x, this is F1y. Similarly, this is F2x and this one is F2y. Similarly, we have this component, that is F3x and F3y. We have to calculate these two one. Then we have F4x, then F4y component. Okay, F4 is nothing but force, y is y component. F4 is force, x is x component, x component of F4. Okay. Then we'll go for F3. F3 is how much? 10 newtons, and theta is equal to 30 degrees with x axis. Now we can calculate F3x is equal to F3 cos theta. Okay, F3 cos theta 3. Then F3y is equal to F3 sin theta 3. Alright, so F3 is how much? 10 into cos theta 3 is cos 30. Similarly, F3y is equal to, F3 is how much? 10 into sine 30. So F3x is equal to, you will get some value in negative sign. Similarly, F3y you will get some value in negative sign. Okay, this is how we calculate our x and y component for the third force. Then we have one more force, that is F4. What is the value of F4? 200 newtons. 200 Newton. What is the value of theta 4? Is 30 degrees. With it is making an angle of 30 degrees with which axis? Again x axis. So x axis means F4x is equal to F4 cos theta 4 and F4y is equal to F4 sin theta 4. Able to follow this one? Right. So F4x is equal to, what is the value of F4? F4 is 200 into cos t 30. Then we have F4y is equal to, F4 is how much? 200 into sin 30. So you will get F4x value in newtons and F4y in newtons. But here in this case you will get the value of F4y in negative sign. Okay. So you can calculate these values for F4, Fi with the help of these values. You substitute here, then what will happen we'll see. You can copy down this one. And now if you calculate these values, you will get F1 is equal to, F1x is equal to 200 Newton, F1y is equal to 346 Newtons, 0.41, and similarly F2x, F2y, all these values you will get. Okay. Now after calculation, so all these are your components of forces, isn't it? It is not resultant, it is just components of each force. Now I have to calculate resultant. So many forces are acting, isn't it? This is one particle, one force is acting at 400, so many forces are acting. So what is the resultant? What is happening to the particle? So that thing we have to calculate. So for that, what we will do? We will try to calculate our resultant. So how to calculate resultant? You see here. So with the help of components only we can calculate resultant. When multiple forces are acting, we have to use components only, components of forces. So resultant is given as, resultant of multiple forces is given as sigma x square plus sigma y square. Now what is sigma x square? Sum of all horizontal components. Sigma x is nothing but sum of all horizontal components. How many horizontal components we have? See here we have 200. Here we have minus 353. Here we have minus 8.66. Here we have plus 173.2. So we'll add up all the values. Instead of ignoring the signs, whatever may be the sign, minus you keep it minus, plus you keep it plus. Okay. So here in F1x we have 200. Okay. Then the x component of F2x is how much? Minus 353.35. Then we have F3x. F3x is how much? Minus 8.66. Minus 8.66. Then what about F4x? It is 173.2 plus 173.2. What is the value? You have to calculate this value. Okay. We'll get in newtons. Then sigma y is equal to, what are the vertical components we have? We have first is 346.41. Okay. Next we have plus 353.55 plus 353.55. Then what is F3x? We have minus 5, isn't it? Then we have minus 100. So you will get some value. Either you may get positive, either you may get negative. Okay. So you got sigma x and sigma y. Then all these values, if you substitute here in this formula, you will get the resultant. Okay. So the values are in this fashion that we have, if you add these terms you will get 11.19, and if you sum up all these values you will get 594. If you carefully observe in these sigma x and sigma y, you got both the values as positive. So what do you mean by positive? The resultant is acting in which quadrant now? Both are positive means the resultant is acting in first quadrant, that is up to the right. Okay, the direction of the resultant is up to the right. Okay, so how will you calculate this one? Under root 11.19 whole square plus 594.96 whole square. You will get the value of resultant in newtons. What is the direction? Up to the right, up to the right, or you can directly place like this. So this is the direction of the resultant, up to the right or in first quadrant, like that we can show. Okay, just substitute all the values, you will get the value. Now what is the angle made by the resultant? The angle made by the resultant is tan theta is equal to sigma y by sigma x. Tan theta is equal to sigma y by sigma x. So tan inverse theta is equal to tan inverse of sigma x. Sigma y, what is the value of sigma y? 594.96 divided by what is the value of x? 11.19. You will get the value of theta. Okay, this is how we calculate resultant for multiple forces. Okay, so this is one new thing, this step. All these we have calculated in the previous classes, isn't it? Calculating components of each forces, components of x, y, all these things. The add-on we have done, which we have done here in this problem, is we have calculated resultant with the help of this x and y formula. Okay, in the previous cases we have calculated resultant but only for two forces, but for here we have multiple forces. So multiple forces needs all the components. So with the help of those components we have calculated resultant, and the direction of the resultant we can calculate with the help, we can identify with the help of these values, sigma x and sigma y. After that, if you want to calculate theta also, magnitude also we have calculated, that is this one, magnitude and direction, and even angle also. Okay, right, copy down. So now we will take down one more problem on resultant of forces. Okay, so determine the resultant of forces. Resultant of forces shown in figure. And we have here again 4 forces. Totally 4 forces we have. One is 350 newtons. At an angle of 45 degrees. Then we have one more force, that is 650 newtons at an angle of 60 degrees. Then we have one more force which is 10 newtons at an angle of 30 degrees with y-axis. Then we have 475 newtons at an angle of 30 degrees. 30 degrees with x-axis. Alright. So now for this we have to calculate our resultant of forces. So the same thing, just one change here, that is the angle is with y-axis. Okay. I am dotting out this one so that it may not look like a force. So this is your x-axis and this is y-axis. So this is my y-axis and x-axis. Okay. So again, we have to calculate resultant for this one. So for the calculation of resultant, first we will try to name the forces. In previous case, we have named as F1, F2, F3, anything you can name. So I'll here we'll name it as P, this force as Q, and this force as T, and this force as F. Okay. P, Q, T, F. Don't keep it R because R is for resultant. Okay. So R, do not keep R. Any name, A, B, C, D, or P, Q, T, F, Q, L, whatever it may be. It's up to you. Angles, we'll name it as theta 1, theta 2, theta 3, and theta 4. Okay. Now we'll start our calculation of components. So components always parallel to x-axis, horizontal component will be parallel to x-axis, vertical component will be parallel to y-axis. So we'll name it as px, py. Then again we have here, this one will be fx and this one will be fy. Then here we'll be having tx and ty. What about this one? Qx and Qy. Okay, these are the components of forces of all inclined force. Okay, we'll start with P. P is equal to how much? 350 newtons. 350 newtons. And what is the angle? Theta 1 is equal to 45 degrees, and it is making an angle of 45 degrees with which axis? X-axis. Alright. So Px is equal to P cos theta 1 and Py is equal to P sin theta 1. Alright. So what is the value of P we have? Px is equal to, what is the value of P there? 350. 350 into cos 45, and Py is equal to 350 into sin 45. Okay, Px, Py over. So you will get the value of Px, you will get the value of Py in newtons. Okay, and both the values will be positive. Why? Because it is going in first quadrant. Now we'll go for the next force. What is the next force we have? We have Q, which is equal to 650 newtons. What is the next force? Q, which is equal to 650 newtons, and theta 2 is equal to 60 degrees with which axis? X-axis. Okay. So what will happen to Qx? Qx is equal to Q cos 60 and Qy is equal to Q sin 60, isn't it? So Qx is equal to 650 into cos 60 and Qy is equal to 650 into sin 60. So 650 into cos 60, you will get some value. Qx, you will get some value in newtons, and Qy, you will get some value in newtons. But since it is in second quadrant, so Qx will be negative and Qy will be positive. In this case, both the values will be positive. Alright, next we will go for another force, that is T. T is equal to 10 newtons and theta 3 is equal to how much? 30 degrees. And this theta 3 is making an angle of 30 degrees with which axis? Y-axis. So whenever the angle is with y-axis, then what will happen to the x component? X component will change to sin theta. So Tx is equal to T sin 30 and Ty is equal to T cos 30 now. Why? See here, x component is cos, but here I have taken x component as sin. Why? Because the angle is with y-axis. Okay. So T is how much? 10 into sin 30 and Ty is equal to 10 into cos 30. So Tx, you will get some value in negative sign, whereas Ty is equal to, you will get some value in negative sign because it is in third quadrant. Then we'll go for the next case, next force, that is F, which is equal to how much? 475 newtons. 475 newtons. Theta 4 is equal to how much? 30 degrees, and 30 degrees is with x-axis. Alright, so what will happen now? Fx is equal to F cos 30 and Fy is equal to F sin 30. Okay, so Fx is equal to, we'll get some value in newtons, and Fy is equal to, we'll get some value in newtons. Since it is in fourth quadrant, so this value will be positive and this value will be negative. Alright, so you can copy down this one. So after this one, we can go for the resultant directly. Since we have all the components of each force, now resultant we can directly calculate with the help of our formula, that is R is equal to, resultant R is equal to under root sigma x square plus sigma y square. Even though x and y, they may come positive or negative, but once you square it, what will happen to the value? It will become positive. So same thing, sigma x you have to calculate, then sigma y is equal to, you have to calculate, then substitute all the sigma x and sigma y in this formula, you will get the value of resultant in newtons, and the direction of the resultant will be dependent upon these values. Okay, if this is positive and this is negative, then depending upon the directions. Okay, first up to the right, down to the left, down to the right, or down to the left, or up to the right or up to the left. Okay, whatever it may be. Then again, theta is equal to, the angle made by the resultant is tan inverse of sigma y by sigma x. Okay, in some textbooks, if you refer any textbook or any other videos, what will happen? Instead of sigma x, they may give sigma h. Okay, instead of sigma y, they may give you sigma v square. Okay, so it is one and the same. Either you take sigma y square or sigma x square or sigma v square or sigma h square, both are same. Okay, this is how we calculate for the resultant of each force when multiple number of forces are acting on the body. Okay.